Yo, what's going on? This is Dynasty the Alias coming to y'all live in effect, live from Old Town as usual. Tonight is a very special night. I wanted to talk to y'all about a topic that's really near and dear to me. Orlando hip hop. You know, I haven't seen anybody specifically jump out and put a blog out about it just yet, so I decided I was going to take a little time out of my day just to discuss my personal feelings about the Orlando hip hop scene. So, you know, shout out to every Orlando hip hop artist out here, man. You know, I understand I'm out here grinding like y'all grinding, so let me say, man, everybody that's actually taking it serious, that's about it, you know, this is for y'all. So first thing on the chopping block that I wanted to discuss is that, man, Orlando, Florida has a huge amount of potential, man. I mean, phenomenal, astronomical potential. What happens is the fact, though, that there's a couple of things that hinder Orlando from really being the blend that it could be. You know, tonight I want to go ahead and discuss some of those with you. First, Orlando is somewhat like New York in a sense that it's a cultural melting pot. You know, I'm from the Chi. You know, a lot of the guys I link up with, they from New York or Boston or different places like that. You know, and what happens is the fact that with New York, if I come from a different place, what they do is they take their food, they'll take their music, they'll take different elements and they'll contribute it and use it to help New York flourish. But then when it comes to Orlando, you got people who come from New York, come from up north, people who come from the Indies, you know, Puerto Rico, DR, or they come from Jamaica or wherever they come from. But what they do is that they hold what they got to their belt and they don't want to blend it with what is going on here in Orlando, and that's one of the main reasons that Orlando can't flourish. It can't be like a New York or like a Atlanta or Miami or nothing like that, because when you got this melting pot society, but everybody is still in that mindset like I am from where I'm from, rather than I am Orlando now. You know what I'm saying? It's like we cannot move forward as far as diversifying, as far as really blending this thing and making this culture here in Orlando bigger, when I'll have sets of these guys and sets of these guys and sets of these guys and sets of these guys. We segregating the hip hop scenes, and it's not so much that I care so much about this crew versus this crew or up north versus down south, but you know, we got to come here and pay homage to the South, man. We here in the South. We not from here. We borrow in this area, so instead of us just being so off into where we from, we need to embrace this Orlando thing, and we need to sit back and take our hip-hop and take their hip-hop and melt this thing together and fuse it to create something that we can give back to the culture, because it's about the culture ultimately. So therefore, we come from where we come from, but we feed into Orlando culture. They didn't come to where we from, we came to where they from. So we gotta not necessarily bow down, but what we gotta do is we have to learn how to blend and intermingle with each other so that we can put out a better quality of work, because of the fact that if we don't, it's just gonna be what it is. Now, the thing is that I've gone to a couple of shows, you know, shout out to the event coordinators and everything, the people who putting these events together and stuff, shout out to y'all. But there's only a handful of shows where people are actually taking the time to market these shows and promote these shows correctly. What happens is the fact that it's been far too many times I go to somebody's event and it's an empty room. You know what I'm saying? It's like a couple of problems with that. I see that a lot of these events you come to the event and you bring your crowd with you. That's all well and good. What happens is the fact that this person here, they got 5 people in their entourage, and this person over here got 3 people in their entourage. Well, this person go first, they spit, they 5 people, you know, they clapping for him and applauding for him as they came to see him get busy. But as soon as he get off stage, him and his 5 people, they get up and they walk out the room and they bounce. So now this person right here, who you had 9 people to watch you, now this person only got 3. You know, and that's unfair, because it's like what happens is the fact that we as artists, when we get put in those positions to where, you know, either we selling tickets or whatever it is we doing, we not telling our people, hey man, come out and come see a good show full of a bunch of different talent. We say, hey man, come see me perform. And as soon as I perform, then we all just gonna leave. Y'all ain't gotta stay to see nobody else, and that's disrespectful to us, that's disrespectful to the culture. So I figure like, number one, artists, you need to talk to your people, let them know that y'all coming to come see a show, a collective show. Like coordinators, hosts, y'all need to have better crowd control, because it's like, we all know that it's rude for somebody to be holding conversations if they not feeling this person, or they didn't come see this person, they holding conversations, or they out taking extended smoke breaks and stuff like that. It's like, and I feel like that's a host job to have better control over that crowd. People pay money to come see this. Y'all may as well come and get the most out of this. So to keep the crowd engaged, keep them open-minded, keep them involved. That's a host job. A host should really have control of that. And I've only seen one host down here that know how to control his crowd. I'm not saying that some of y'all don't, because I ain't been out everywhere that there is to go. I ain't shaking all the hands in Orlando that they're out to shake. But so far, I've only seen one host, shout out to E. Martinez on that actually can control his crowd, that ain't just throwing events. And it lead me to believe that a lot of people are throwing events just for the sake of collecting the bread, but it ain't about the culture. And that's another thing, that is, if that's what it is, and that's where y'all get busy, at least pack a house. If y'all just doing it to get the money, then y'all should be the ones that are bringing the people to come see the show. If it's not about the culture and it's just about the money, then y'all should be the ones promoting it. The artists should just be handpicked by the host or by the event coordinators, and y'all should be the ones bringing in the crowd. If we got to bring in the crowd, but y'all not going to take the time to keep the crowd engaged, keep the crowd in control, keep them interested in what's going on, and let them know to respect all the MCs who touch the mic, and try to keep them in there and see the last MC go up, then it's like, it's a disservice to the culture. It's a disservice to what Orlando could be. Even bigger than that, it's like, we have Orlando's hip-hop scene, for as far back as I've studied it, it's only about 10 years old. Hip-hop originated in 1975. It's almost 40 years old, but hip-hop in Orlando, as far as the little time that it spends in mainstream every here and there, or the well-known unknowns, if you will, it's only about 10 years old. Now, it could be more to that, I'm not going to sit back and play like I'm the historian of Orlando hip-hop, but as far as I know, it's only about 10 years old. So with that, we really have to look at things in regard to, it's still new, it's still developing. And the people who have influence in the city of Orlando, all of the heads of people who got influence need to come together, or my suggestion is that they come together and they figure out how to conglam this. Now, that's on the money side. I hear a lot of MCs, though, talking about, one of the problems are that we need to unify as MCs. No, we don't. Hip-hop is about being number one. And if you're not aiming to be number one, that sounds like you're trying to ride the coattails of somebody else on what they built. Now, I could be taking that wrong, but at the same token, unity in hip-hop, if we got a movement, or we got a specific goal that we trying to go across, that we trying to put forth, maybe for the embedment of the school system, or the embedment of the neighborhoods, or public awareness about government issues and money and stuff like that. If we coming together for a cause, then yeah, MCs need to unify, because we are the voice of the streets. Other than that, if it's just about MC and beats and rhymes, it's every man for himself in this game. You know what I'm saying? If you got a crew and that's your crew, then it's about making your crew the most rugged crew in the thing. If you a solo artist, it's about being the most rugged solo artist out. It ain't about we all come together, we all united. That's not how hip hop work. Another thing I wanted to address, is like, I know I'm relatively new, so some people might criticize me for commenting on it, but I take it for what it is. I'm a child of hip hop and its culture, more so than an MC. I tie hand in hand with those. So I was a child of hip hop before I became an MC. So I feel like I have to say this. Now, gentleman, Paul Rock, he earlier, about a month ago or a couple of weeks ago, he had dropped the track dissing the well-known guys in Orlando. And it's just like, all right, cool, what I'm saying? It is what it is. He did what he did, and, shout out to him because he got a reaction out of it. But because of the fact that Orlando is still so new and it's still so untapped, I'm certain that little buzz, or that little moment in the spotlight didn't go very far. because of the fact that it went around full surface to the MCs, but there's not enough fans out here to have really cared about who you dissed, and it didn't go very, it wasn't very potent, it didn't go very far. So I mean, capitalize on about 500 YouTube views or something like that, and now people in the Orlando scene know your name. But at the same token, you know, it's not a 50 Cent how to rob. It wasn't a power move. You know what I'm saying? It's like if you would have did this like 5 years from now, once things get so established that you got people coming from all over just to come see shows here, and you packing houses and stuff like that, then yeah, you know, I could see that then. But right now, I just don't think that it was a smart move, because some people got into their emotions and they took it to heart. Other people, they looked at it like, who this dude think he is? He ain't putting no work out on the street. I don't know you. I applaud you. I applaud anybody who doing something that's hip hop, sure that they take it serious. I just don't personally think that it was the right time to take that type of approach. I think right now it's more so about grab your fans, get them out, solidify your fan base, and then keep feeding the music, and then once you at a status, and once their status is in general created amongst Orlando MCs, then we battle it out for the top spot. Like right now, it's like you have some people who are doing more than others, but there is no top spot in Orlando. It's like nobody can say that they are the #1 person in Orlando. Now, as far as you ask me, as far as like my opinion, Mad Ills, this is it. If you ask me, again, I don't know enough about Orlando. You know, I've heard of a couple of names, Mook Boy and Armstrong. You know, shout out to them guys. You know what I'm saying? It's like they name be buzzing all around, and you know, I like to sit back and chop it up with y'all at some point. But outside of that, it's like I know some key players, but at the same token, it's like none of them or any of us at this stage, like there's no endorsement deals on the table. I don't know what is going on in the background of people's situations, but it's like it's not big enough to where if I throw a show for myself and it's 1,000-person venue, that I'm gonna be sold out in the night. I don't know if anybody besides Ills is at that level to where they can just say, I'm throwing a concert and boom, it's gonna be sold out. So we really need to think about, as far as that beef thing, if y'all want to do it, man, the battle rap circuit is bigger than ever. So it's like, if I'm going to diss you, I don't want to diss you on wax. Give me your best 3 verses, and we're gonna rent out a venue, and we're going to do this the right way. You know what I'm saying? I want this videotaped. I want it televised. I want people to see Orlando getting busy for the culture. I don't want to go on wax, because don't enough people know us here to be wasting our time going back and forth on wax. It's just whack, you know. So I just wanted to touch on that part right there. You know, other than that, it's pretty much like there's a lot of ability to grow here. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think that a lot of it is really going to be marketing, marketability, you know, coming up with an Orlando thing, you know, something to attach. You know, when you got NY, you got so many different things that you can attach to NY. You know, you got your NY pizza, you got your NY hot dog, you know, you got your NY fitted. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't see enough people bigging up Orlando and things in Orlando, and somebody argue, well, ain't nothing really popping about Orlando. Well, that's your job to make something pop in Orlando. Find something to attach, something to big up about the place that you in. You know what I'm saying? Amway Center, Orlando Magics, you know what I'm saying, the soccer team that they get ready to put up in here. I mean, whatever it is that y'all trying to do, you know what I'm saying, it's like, since we here, we gotta make this a mecca. We gotta make this a place to where people look for hip hop to come from. You know, Atlanta wasn't always on the map. You know, Miami wasn't always on the map. Houston wasn't always on the map. The Chi wasn't always on the map. Detroit wasn't, you know, Toronto. You know what I'm saying? Toronto is relatively new. You know, Cardinal Official and Drake, and it's like, you know, a couple of other sprinkles here and there. But come on, you gotta remember that it's our job as the MCs to put on where we at. We need to take ourselves out of that mentality of, man, I'm from this city, now wear that city on my back. That's all good and well. But at the same token, take what you got from that city that you in and bring it down here and integrate it with what they already been trying to establish down here. And it's like us Northerners and these Southerners, we need to come up with an idea to actually solidify something in Orlando outside of Disney, outside of Orlando Magic. We need to make a true hip-hop presence here. You know, as far as a couple of marketing ideas and a couple of marketing flaws, if you making moves, I'll talk to you about it. Because I think that there's a real key element that people are missing. And I think that they really need to gear their focus in a different direction. But we'll talk about that if you really want to talk to me about it, man. I think that we can really make something happen out of that. You know, last but not least, let me give my shout outs to my man Justin Hall, Ninja Verbals, you know what I'm saying, for putting the logo together for Sky's Limit Production Group. You're a good man for that. I appreciate you. Can't wait to get you and the rest of Ninja Verbals team onto this track or whatever to get ready for this mixtape. Shout out to Team SLPG. You know what I'm saying, my man, you know what I'm saying, my man P. Shane. You know what I'm saying, my little homie Notorious Deacon. You know what I'm saying, my man Blackout represents Chicago. You know what I'm saying, this is my home team, my peoples. You know what I'm saying, shout out to City Stompers. You know, y'all been very elemental as far as bringing me in, helping me to learn my way around, doing my thing, and you know what I'm saying, showing my face and stuff like that. You know, Austin's Coffee been showing me a lot of love. Shout out to RC Mike. You know what I'm saying. Shout out to my man Prospect, especially. You know, that's a good dude. If y'all don't know that dude, that's a good dude. You know what I'm saying? Elliot Martinez, these are good dudes. People don't like them. People that have an issue with them, don't let me find out about it. You know what I'm saying? Those are my people, and I rock with my people heavy. You know what I'm saying? People who show me love, I show everybody love. You know what I'm saying? Outside of that, I got more things that I want to talk to people about as far as Orlando scene and the things that Orlando could really capitalize on, but, you know, in due time. In the meantime, y'all have a good one.